let's get it straight here. We left a doll at a haunted museum because we thought it could kill our cats. Yeah.
I would genuinely say that this is more scary than the one from the movie.
Would you open that case and throw the Annabelle doll on the floor and then drive home? Hey guys, hey everyone, Drip Podcast, Drip Paranormal Podcast. On your screens, in your ears. This is the podcast where we talk about all things paranormal. This is episode 4. I'm joined by my team, with the exception of Scott, who is not here because we rotate, because we've got so many people in our team. But today we're joined by Lozzie, Bailey, and Maya, and obviously myself. What are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the Annabelle doll, but the actual story behind the Annabelle doll. Obviously, the Annabelle doll, massively famous. Everyone's heard of it. It's been made even more famous, I believe, by our favourite podcast movie. It's in the Conjuring as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's part of the Conjuring Universe.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the Conjuring Universe, yeah.
Nice, as is The Nun. And Valak and all that good stuff. But yeah, so we're gonna be delving into the actual story. Hopefully this article I've got isn't going to constantly talk about the Conjuring movie like last week did. I think I found one that didn't. It's
just the Conjuring roast podcast.
Yeah, but it's amazing because I love the movies. Like,
yeah,
you're alone in that one.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen them, so you can pipe down.
Wait, you haven't seen them? Oh God!
Bailey weren't here.
You call yourself a paranormal investigator, and you haven't seen them.
Scott hasn't seen them either.
Scott hasn't seen them.
Exactly.
What?
For the audio
I
listeners.
thought that would have been like Scott's favourite film.
Bailey is flabbergasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen them. So we'll have to get Mara and Scott to watch them. Definitely.
No.
That could be the next podcast topic.
Yeah. Wait. Right. Let me just think for a second. Because obviously, guys, you know, those of you out there that don't know, sometimes podcasts can be filmed ahead of schedule. And I won't give away when we're recording this, but I'm trying to figure out when we need to do a Halloween special. Because if this is episode 4, what date does this go out on? If episode 2 goes out, I'm going to give away where we're recording this now.
Oh no!
So episode 2 goes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Went out
the
20th of September.
27th.
It'd be episode 7. It'd be episode 7, I believe.
Episode 7. Okay, we've got ages then. We've got ages.
2, 3.
It's fine. We'll film that next week. No, I'm joking. It'll be fine. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
Why don't we do a little Halloween special? Can include like clips of me and Scott watching The Conjuring for the first time.
There you go.
Well, the 31st is on a Tuesday.
It's on a Tuesday. So our Halloween special goes out the morning after Halloween. That's epic.
Yes. So it'll be actually episode 8 then, because it will go out on the 1st.
That'd be epic. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'd be up for that, like with The Conjuring. Like, I watch along, but obviously we can't include the video or the audio, but we can literally be watching it and like talking about it and commenting on it as it goes along, something like that. Maybe not for the Halloween special, but it's something that we could do in the future. But anyway, this is all about the Annabelle doll. Before I continue, I mean, I know what Lozzie's going to say, but I'm going to ask him anyway. I'm going to ask all of you. The Annabelle doll. Before we hear the true story, or the real story, should I say, outside of the Hollywood movies, do we believe in the Annabelle doll? But just for context, the Annabelle doll that is sealed in a glass case that is exorcised and blessed weekly. Do we think that it is a haunted doll?
Do you want me to go first, or
go first, Loz?
Done it already.
Well, yeah, mine's already said my answer. So,
so not a chance. Okay, Bailey, what about you?
I mean, it's a little bit far-fetched, isn't it? How long? So we're saying every week since when?
For years, I believe.
Well, surely, if it is real exorcisms, they're like.
No, I think it's blessed, not exercised. I think.
Okay, blessed. Okay, I don't know. It's pretty far fetched to me, to be fair. You know.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
it was getting
I don't know.
exercised for years and years and years and has still got a demon
No, it's
in it, then
blessed.
just
I
get a
said
new
the wrong
priest.
fucking words, all right?
Right, he gets blessed every
Fucking
week.
hell, I tell you what, this podcast, right, has really brought out the skeptical side in everyone. Can we fucking relax and remember that we believe in the paranormal, please? Or am I alone in this now?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's the whole point of
I
Drip.
know, I'm
is
still
that
skeptical, but
that
Jesus.
we are skeptical and we call out obvious money grabs, and that to me is what
Fucking
Annabelle
hell,
is.
now
I
we're
never
libelous.
said money grab.
Now we're
Hang on a
fucking
minute.
in libel territory.
I was just putting fucking words in people's mouths here. Like,
Jesus
let's
Christ.
dial it back a little bit.
You don't make a Hollywood movie out of a true story, in my opinion.
Oh,
like a
fuck
true paranormal
Christ.
story, because it would be boring.
Hang on a minute, you haven't even
That's
seen
fine.
it.
Yeah, but like if you all you got to do to know that the story is completely blown out of proportion is look at how different the dolls look. They're not even the same doll.
Yeah, but yeah,
just-
well, obviously, I
does
know
have a
what you
little-
mean.
yeah,
They take
no, yeah, it's another
creative
point.
liberties for sure. The difference is pretty immense. But yeah, I don't know. Do I think that objects can be haunted? I think so. So I don't see why the most famous haunted doll in the fucking world wouldn't be. You know.
I mean, yeah, I suppose like going off of it, if you're willing to spend so much time each week blessing a doll, there's got to be something behind
I
it.
mean,
I guess.
let's get it
I don't know.
let's get it straight here. We left a doll at a haunted museum because we thought it could kill our
True.
cats.
It's true. The thing is,
Yeah, well,
like
when you put it
you've
like
got to
that, yeah.
remember that us three probably don't know that much. But like me personally, I know nothing about the Annabelle doll. That's why
Until
I'm basing it
today.
off nothing. That's exactly.
Yeah.
If I can see some concrete, proof, then I'm more than happy to be convinced. Because, like you said, buttons to me was the most haunted part of my entire existence thus far.
Yeah, coming to cinemas near you, 2025.
Yeah, oh, mate, and we gave it away.
107.
And we gave it away.
We gave it away, but it was going to kill our cats.
Yeah,
So
we made a judgment call.
I
Yeah,
mean, I kind of blame Scott for that because I feel like if
Yeah.
he hadn't brought up the cats, there would have been no issue.
Yeah, he was really
I feel
leading
like
that,
targeted
wasn't
attack.
he? There was no need to take it down that fucking
I
route.
felt ridiculously bad when you come
was
in
like-
and you're talking about it. I'm there with the bloody rods, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
you're
think
like-
that I'm crossing these on purpose,
Yeah.
mate. Like,
So you're gonna skin and burn Jordan's cats alive or what? All right, Scott. Fucking hell.
string them out.
Jesus, man. But yeah. So there we go. Before we jump into the Annabelle story, this podcast has been brought to you by Wraith. So Wraith is a company that I've partnered with, and they're an energy company, and there's a few reasons why I partnered with them. One, I need energy. When I'm on paranormal investigations and stuff, I do start flagging around 2 a.m. I feel like everyone does, and Wraith Energy really helps me out. Secondly, Wraith. It's a type of ghost, and I just felt like it went really well with the brand. And then there is also the taste. There's so many different flavors and stuff, and they taste fantastic. And there's sachets. It's really good for being on the go. There's also tubs and stuff. I also use it as a gym intra workout. But yeah, I believe in the product. And the thing is, if you support the product using my code Duty, you get 20% off. We make a bit of commission off of it, and through that, we can then invest in really cool places to go. So basically, you get an awesome energy product if you're into your energy drinks and stuff, and then we can go to even more immense places to create awesome content for you. So it's like a secular. It's like a cycle of fun. But yeah, Wraith.
It's singular of fun.
Click
That's
the
it.
link down below and use code DUDY for 20% off. Just slap in Google Wraith Energy. You'll find the website and type in Duty for 20% off. But yeah, head over to drinkwraith.com. That's DRINKWRAITH.com. Code Duty, 20% off. Thank you so much to Wraith for sponsoring the episode. Right, let's go and check out Annabelle. So, Annabelle the doll. Inside the real Annabelle doll's true story of terror. The true story of the original Annabelle doll began when she terrorized her first owner in 1970, forcing Ed and Lorraine Warren to take her to their occult museum for safe keeping. She sits in a glass case bearing a hand-carved inscription of the Lord's Prayer, whilst a pleasant smile rests on her happy face sitting under a mop of red hair. Lozzie, for the visual people, perfect. Look at that. Look at that.
He's done this before.
He's done this
give
before.
Give this man a raise.
Isn't it?
Right.
For the video watchers, that right there is Annabelle. Now, if you're listening to this, I implore you to Google not right now if you're driving or something, obviously, but Google the real Annabelle doll, because as Maya mentioned earlier, it is very different to the one that you probably have in your head thinking about the Conjuring movies and stuff.
It's not even like remotely similar.
pretty
No, it's
sure
like a
the one in the
Raggedy,
film,
Raggedy Ann
yeah.
doll, isn't it?
Yeah,
In the
and
one
then
in the film
one-
got like a wooden
porcelain
head.
doll.
Porcelain,
Or
yeah.
porcelain face. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It was like similar to like what we had, like what Buttons was,
Like
That
a
was like
porcelain
a-
doll.
but just
Yeah,
like a
but
bigger
massive.
version of
but
that. Yeah.
massive. Yeah. I think the size scale's quite on point with it. It's just a completely different doll.
Yeah.
I would genuinely say that this is more scary than the one from the movie.
Absolutely not.
But just, oh, I hate.
I
look at
can
the
see
eyes.
I can see both sides with that, because the innocence of this doll makes it scary, but then this sounds stupid. The scariness of the Hollywood one makes it scary. So it's like the opposite, but they both
and
do
also
the same thing.
like it needs to walk, and this is made out of fluff, and it probably wouldn't be able to stand upright. You know, like it just fall over.
Yeah, I think there are videos of this doll like falling over and shit.
I was going to say, please don't say walking.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
I would believe then.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, very, very different to the Hollywood version. Okay, so beneath the case is a sign that reads, "Warning, positively do not open." Now, on this picture, all I see is "Warning, positively do not."
I was going to say,
Positively do not.
Which reminds me of the moment when we were in the Ancient Ram Inn when we went into the bishop's room, but the bis was hidden. So I was like, "Oh, it's the hops room. I haven't heard of this room."
I forgot about that.
Oh, the hops room.
Yeah, I was like, because obviously I'd researched the whole building before, and I was like, "They're in a hops room. This is mental. This isn't on the fucking website." But no,
Exclusive.
behind. I can't remember what it was behind, but there was the bish.
Like a mirror or something. Mirror?
I don't
Something
know.
like
There's
that.
loads of stuff in the RAM just hiding.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so to the uninformed visitors of the Warrens Occult Museum in Monroe, not being funny, who the fuck would go there and be uninformed?
Yeah, that's-
Yeah.
Oh,
Join,
you
like, a
just
2-year
walking
waiting
past.
list.
Yeah, you're just walking past, like, oh, the Warrens Occult Museum.
Oh, what's
Come on,
in here?
kids. Let's have a little look in here then, shall we?
So to the uninformed, she looks just like any other Raggedy Ann doll produced in the mid-20th century, but the original Annabelle doll, I don't know why they keep saying original, I'm just going to say Annabelle. The Annabelle doll is actually anything but ordinary. Since her first supposed haunting in 1970, this alleged evil doll has been blamed for demonic possession, a slew of violent attacks, and at least 2 near-death experiences. In recent years, the true stories of Annabelle have even inspired a series of films. But just how much of the Annabelle story is real? Is the real Annabelle doll truly a vessel for a demonic spirit in search of a human host? Or is she simply a child's toy used as a prop for wildly profitable ghost stories? These are the real stories of the Annabelle doll. So, here we go. Though she doesn't share the same porcelain skin and lifelike features as her cinematic counterpart, the Annabelle doll that lives in the Occult Museum of famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, the pair that worked on the case, is made all the more creepy by how ordinary she appears. Annabelle's stitched features includes her half smile and bright orange triangular nose evoke memories of childhood toys and simpler times. If you could ask Ed and Lorraine Warren, although Ed died in 2006 and Lorraine died in early 2019, they would tell you that the stark warnings scrawled across Annabelle's glass case are more than necessary. According to the well-known demonologist couple, the doll is responsible for 2 near-death experiences, 1 fatal accident and a string of demonic activities that's lasted some 30 years. Not to criticise, but they've already stated that. The first of these infamous hauntings can allegedly be tracked back to 1970 when Annabelle was brand new. The story was told by the Warrens, by 2 young women, and was retold for years after the Warrens themselves. As the story goes, the Annabelle doll had been gifted to a young nurse named Donna, or Deirdre, depending on the source, from her mother for her 28th birthday. Donna, apparently thrilled with the gift, brought it back to her apartment that she shared with another young nurse named Angie. At first, the doll was an adorable accessory sitting on a sofa in the living room and greeted visitors with her colourful visage. But before long, the 2 women began to notice that Annabelle seemed to move about the room of her own accord. Donna would sit her on the living room sofa before leaving for work, only to come home in the afternoon and find her in the bedroom with the door shut. Donna and Angie then started finding notes left throughout the apartment reading, "Help me." According to the women, the notes were written on parchment paper, which they did not even keep in their home. Furthermore, Angie's boyfriend, known only as Lou, was in the apartment one afternoon while Donna was out and heard rustling in her room, as if someone had broken in. Upon inspection, he found no sign of forced entry, but found the Annabelle doll laying face down on the ground. Other versions of this story say he was attacked upon waking up from a nap. Suddenly, he felt...
They're very different.
That is
Other versions of this story from who? He's the only one who can tell it.
Well, I guess it's just been retold so many times over the years.
Yeah.
So which one is the real story? Suddenly he felt a searing pain on his chest and looked down to find bloody claw marks running across it. 2 days later, they had vanished without a trace. Following Lou's traumatic experience, the women invited a medium over to help solve their seemingly paranormal problem. The medium held a seance and told the women that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a deceased 7-year-old named Annabelle Higgins, whose body had been found years earlier on the site where the apartment building had been built. The medium claimed that the spirit was benevolent and simply wanted to be loved and cared for. The 2 young nurses reportedly felt bad for the spirit and consented to allow her to take up permanent residence in the doll. Okay, so that's the first story. That's the origin story. How on earth do you go from a benevolent 7-year-old to a demon?
It was always a demon. Must have been. And then it just tricked the medium into letting them let her stay.
Quite possibly. Didn't
How would she write a note? She doesn't have any hands. Just what I ask.
well, how is she moving?
She doesn't have any fingers.
There's no
let's
parchment
have it
paper.
right, Maya. But how is she writing isn't really the question here without hands. How is she even able to even do anything? He's a doll, mate.
Yeah, but it's because
let's use the movie and let's say she can move. It is haunted. She can walk. She can somehow go to the shop, buy parchment paper, come back to the house, find a pen and write. She doesn't have any hands, so how's she doing any of this?
Because I don't think that is what happens. Because in the movies, you never see the doll walk. You only ever see the doll after it's moved to locations, and you see apparitions.
Turn, don't you?
You see apparitions. You see his head turn, yeah, but you see apparitions around the doll and stuff, and it's the apparitions that do the shit.
Right. Okay.
So if there is a demon,
the doll.
It lives in the doll and inhabits around the doll.
Oh, is the shell?
Yes.
I can get on board with that.
Lozzie, how are you feeling
I
about it?
prefer that.
I've got a slightly different take. I've been thinking for the last minute or so, just in a trance. Two things. One, how smug of a fucking face she's got. That honestly, if that doll was out of the cage, right hook. And secondly,
She's 7, Lozzie.
oh, she's not a fucking 7. She's a demon.
That's true.
Demons deserve right hook. And secondly, I want to know what fragile state of mind or how demented you have to be mentally to make a doll that looks like that. And think, that's the one. That's the one.
I don't know the company.
Kids will love this.
Yeah.
But
They'll love the triangle fucking nose. That's going to work. Straight up, just a massive triangle in the face.
Reminds me of Rosie and Jim. Rosie and Jim.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, to be fair.
Throwback there for the older listeners. Right. So, at the minute, we've got a benevolent 7-year-old, but it's got to get to a demon at some point, so let's find out. Eventually, in an attempt to rid their home of the Annabelle doll's spirit... Hang on a fucking minute.
Oh, dear.
They just let her in.
Yeah, that's a jump.
Innit? Right.
What's happening there?
This is literally the sentences. Are you ready? The 2 young nurses reportedly felt bad for the spirit and consented to allow her to take up permanent residence in the doll. Eventually, in an attempt to rid their home of the Annabelle doll's spirit, Donna and Angie called on an episcopal priest known as Father Hegan. Hegan contacted his superior, Father Cook, who alerted Ed and Lorraine Warren. So they've gone from, yeah, okay, fair enough, to get this the fuck out of my house.
How quick was
With
that
nothing in between. Literally one day.
I don't know the turnaround here. As far as Ed and Lorraine Warren were concerned, the 2 young ladies' trouble truly started when they began believing... Oh,
here we go. We spoke too soon.
Here we go. Okay, so we did jump the gun here, right? So Ed and Lorraine Warren were concerned the 2 young ladies' trouble truly started when they began believing that the doll deserved their sympathy. The Warrens believed that there was actually a demonic force in search of a human host within Annabelle and not a benevolent soul. The Warrens' account... Yeah, you did. The Warrens' account of the case states this, and this is a direct quote. Spirits do not possess... Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, considering I've got a haunted doll in the room... This next paragraph is crap. Spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys. They possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or an object, and this is what occurred in the Annabelle case. This spirit manipulated the doll and created the illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll. It was looking to possess a human host. So what Lorraine is saying here is if you have a haunted object, it is not by a spirit of a human. It has to be an inhuman spirit. So it has to be...
Why is that? How have they come to that conclusion then? Like how...
That's actually a fair point.
Listen, Ed and Lorraine Warren are the goats.
We're just going off the name then.
That's like saying how does fucking Messi know how to top bin at every free kick? They just know these things.
Yes,
no evidence, they just know.
They're experienced.
It's just the vibes, you know.
How is I can't believe it's not butter, not butter?
Exactly, it's the same thing. It's the same principle.
Life's unanswered questions.
So immediately, the Warrens noted what they believed were signs of demonic possession, including teleportation, the doll moving on its own, materialization, the parchment paper notes, and the mark of the beast, Lou's clawed chest. Right? The Warrens subsequently ordered an...
Sorry?
What? We
His
mentioned...
clawed chest. When was that mentioned?
When he saw the doll on the floor or may have been attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said nothing. That one of the stories said nothing happened, and one of the stories said that he got attacked.
No. So going back, upon inspection, he found no sign of forced entry, but found the Annabelle doll lying face down on the ground. brackets, other versions of the story say he was attacked
Yeah.
upon waking up from a nap. Wait, suddenly, this is so you can read
Part
this
of
as
the original.
yes. So after finding the doll laying
Right.
face down on the ground, suddenly he felt a searing pain on his chest and looked down to find bloody claw marks running across it. 2 days later, they
See?
vanished without a trace.
That's why
Okay.
That's why we needed to hear them close brackets, right?
So
Jeez.
the Warrens.
I thought this whole bit was in brackets.
Fuck's sake. The Warrens subsequently ordered an exorcism of the apartment to be performed by Father Cook. Then they took Annabelle out of the apartment and to her final resting place in their occult museum in the hopes that her demonic reign would finally end. Other hauntings attributed to the demonic doll, so evidently it didn't fucking work. Following Annabelle's removal from Donna and Angie's apartment, the Warrens documented several other paranormal experiences involving the doll, the first just minutes after they took possession of her. After the exorcism of the nurse's apartment, the Warrens buckled Annabelle into their back seat of the car and vowed not to take the highway in case she had some kind of accident causing power over them and their vehicle. However, even the safer back roads proved to be too risky for the couple. On their way home, Lorraine claimed that the brakes either stalled or failed several times, resulting in near disastrous crashes. Lorraine claimed that as soon as Ed pulled holy water from his bag and doused the doll with it, the problem with the brakes disappeared. Upon arriving home, Ed and Lorraine placed the doll in Ed's study. There, they reported that the doll levitated and moved about the house. Even when placed in the locked office in an outer building, the Warrens claimed that she would turn up later inside the house. Finally, the Warrens decided to lock Annabelle up for good. The Warrens had a specially made glass and wood case constructed upon which they inscribed the Lord's Prayer and St. Michael's Prayer. For the rest of his life, Ed would periodically say a binding prayer over the case, ensuring that the sinister spirit and the doll remained good and trapped. Since being locked up, Annabelle the doll hasn't moved again, though it is alleged that her spirit has found ways to reach out to the earthly plane. Once, a priest who was visiting the Warrens museum picked up Annabelle and discounted her demonic abilities. Ed warned the priest about mocking Annabelle's demonic power, but the young priest laughed him off. On his way home, the priest was involved in a near-fatal car crash that totaled his new car. He claimed to have seen Annabelle in his rear-view mirror just before the accident. Years later, another visitor rapped on the glass of the Annabelle doll case and laughed at how silly people were to believe in her. On his way home, he reportedly lost control of his motorcycle and crashed headlong into a tree. He was killed instantly and his girlfriend just barely survived. Whoa. She claimed that at the time of the accident, the couple had been laughing about the Annabelle doll. Over the years, the Warrens continued to recount these tales as proof of Annabelle the doll's horrific powers, though none of these stories could be corroborated. The names of the young priest and the motorcyclist were never divulged. Neither Donna nor Angie, the two nurses who were Annabelle's first victims, ever came forward with their story. Neither Father Cook nor Father Hegan appeared to have mentioned their exorcisms of her ever again. It would appear that all we have is the Warrens' word that any of this even took place.
Exactly what I was going to say, where all of the juicy stories conveniently happened in their house. You know, it started levitating, it did this, it did that, and then all these people died. Has anyone ever looked into it? Because I don't think they did. All came from them, conveniently, the people that have it in their museum that you have to pay to go to.
I mean,
That's it. She's on the money grabbing hype.
Honestly, this podcast could have been 3 minutes long.
Fucking hell.
I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's hard because, you know, I do get what you mean, but then you can say that about everyone. You could then say that about our investigations. Like, oh, that's convenient that it happened to you and your experience. You know, that's what this whole shit is based on, really. Is and I'm not saying therefore everyone has to be believed, not at all. And there are definitely people out there that are there to make money and stuff, but I don't know. It's difficult. It's really difficult. But in that, okay, let's put your life where your mouth is, all three of you, Lozzie, I know you would, but I'll ask you anyway. But all three of you, considering your thoughts on the Annabelle doll, would you open that case and throw the Annabelle doll on the floor and then drive home?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. To be fair, like the thing is with the car crashes and that, like they can literally just come out of nowhere. It can just be a huge coincidence when
Absolutely
it's something
could.
like that.
Absolutely
There could be a really dangerous road outside.
Absolutely correct. But would you take the risk? Maya,
And I'll
would
be
you?
a passenger in the car.
I can see on your face, the audio listeners can't. You're going to say no.
I would do it to prove that I could do it.
Oh, that's it.
So you would.
I don't know. I just think it's all just too much.
How violently are we throwing her on the floor here? Is it just like a little
Well,
knock?
you're not
or
even
we like...
supposed to let her out, but
Right, okay.
I mean that the priest knocked on the window and laughed at it and then went head first into a tree.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, I've already gone pretty much balls deep in this theory. I've said I'll go fucking right hooker. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no,
That
he's
is
might as well just throw on the floor as well. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a lot of people out there that don't really believe in the paranormal but would never do a Ouija board. It's like, well, if you don't believe in it, then just do it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
What I would say though is that I'm not. Is it the kind of biblical scriptures and like the religion side of it that keeps it in that box, or is it the fact that it is a confined box because she managed to get out somehow of secure rooms into their house?
Yeah, I guess if it's if you know all this is to be believed, demons exist, etc. I'm guessing the scriptures would carved into the wood would keep it contained.
Right.
Do the blessings are they still done weekly?
Let me just have a quick.
Because I would say if we're going on like ideal that this is 100% legit, surely blessing it would be also a huge factor of keeping it in the box.
What a gig that is as well.
Yeah.
You got guaranteed work every week.
Every week.
Forever.
For 2 minutes every week. Sorted.
$2,000 a minute.
Maya's had enough. She's just decided. She's gone.
I think I think her food's ready.
Oh yeah.
Let me have a look. I'm just on a different article. This is tarot card of the devil, as we can see there. Tarot card of the devil stuck on the front.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for, because I found something that says, is it weekly or is it monthly?
So Ed used to do it personally himself.
Prayers are regularly done by a priest to bless the area in the room where the doll is kept, but I can't find. Lorraine Warren did not like staring at the doll because it had done a lot of bad harm on a lot of people, she says.
I just don't like staring at it, to be fair. It is very creepy.
I tell you something that is creepy, which I believe is in their museum, is the doll that you're not actually supposed to look at. That one is horrible. That one I do believe in because it's disgusting.
What one's that? Because Ed and Lorraine's daughter Judy said her parents told her to not give the doll recognition and to never look it in the eyes, and to this day she will not look it in the eyes.
Right.
So I don't know, is that the
Peggy.
same one? Peggy, is
Apparently, if you look it in the eyes, it's like, that's it. Like, you're done. And you shouldn't even look at pictures of her eyes.
Well, hang on.
Well, we've condemned every
I've done it
single
before
viewer.
and nothing happened, but I would be concerned to do that in person.
Yeah.
Even though I know nothing about the doll, I know no history. There's just something. Oh, it's in Zach Bagan's museum.
Right.
That's it.
I've got a question for you. Seeing as we have encountered a haunted figure or statue in person that has been known to take a life.
Yeah.
The one in the Haunted Antique Paranormal Research Centre that was held under a little glass. Would you take the lid off that and touch it?
No.
No.
Lozzie?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, obviously, what's the point of even asking?
Yeah. But it's just like it's just such an all or nothing test.
Yeah, there's no in
It's
between.
either
If it is
bullshit
legit,
or you
yeah.
die.
Yeah.
So
So obviously, like, you're not gonna want to risk it. But I just think, like,
unless you lost.
the chances of exactly the chances of just like a small, like, not publicized by Hollywood, haunted museums doll that has a fairly like believable short story. You know what I mean? Like, I find that more believable than the Annabelle doll, which just has so many points that lead to me not believing it, if you know what I mean. I don't know.
I do know what you mean, but at the same time, then then it's just like
it's a
being
lot
a
of effort,
victim
isn't
of
it?
your own fame.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's also a lot of effort. Like, you know what I mean? If it's a load of bullshit, it's a lot of effort to keep up for since the 70s. Was it 70s, did you say?
Yeah. Here's another
Yeah.
interesting one. So, the guy so basically Ed and Lorraine Warren's son-in-law now does runs it all and the does all the videos and stuff. He declined how much was it? He declined $1 million from someone who offered to buy the doll.
Right. So how much do they charge for entry to the museum?
I've just looked up their net worth, and between them, when they died, they had over $85 million between them.
That's probably selling the rights to the Conjuring movies and the
Yeah. To be
Annabelle
fair,
shit.
yeah.
When did they die?
2003 and 2019.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it was a lucrative
Oh yeah, of course.
thing to do.
But then that's probably why he hasn't sold the doll for $1 million. If you got to
Yeah.
think of how
Yeah,
much they're charging
exactly.
per entry and how many entries they have throughout the year, he's probably going to make that million back very quickly if he keeps it, rather than how much he would lose if he just doesn't have the doll anymore. Because I would assume that that's probably one of the key things that people go to see there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so he's basically giving away his main showpiece if he was to sell it. So that doesn't surprise me that he hasn't sold it for $1 million, to be fair.
So, no, that's the Conjuring House. So, well, go on.
I'm not disputing that there is possibility that this is real. Definitely not. Because if everything that they say is true and you want to believe what people are saying, then absolutely fuck that doll.
I tell you what, you can go. Is this right? Oh no, that's a convention centre. Hang on a minute. There's a convention that you can go to for $35. Hang on, what? They bring the doll to the convention.
That's
On
a bit
tour.
sussy.
Annabelle on tour. He took his
It's bringing the museum to the public, where you can view in person the shadow doll, the haunted dinosaur toy, and of course a real Annabelle. This is the only place in the world where you'll be able to view the real Annabelle doll that inspired the Annabelle movies.
Oh, so it's not
Is that-
open to the public then?
Yeah, it just says you cannot tour in person
Oh.
on this website that I'm now looking at. It's been closed since 2019 when
Probably when
Lorraine
Lorraine
Warren
died.
died. However,
They sold the property.
the people that used to do a lot of videos with Sam and Colby, I can't remember. I don't know what they're called now. They went there like
Overnight.
last year. Yeah, overnight. That's it. They went there last year. So that's not true. Did they? Or, no, actually,
They did, yeah.
did they not go to Zach
they
Bagans?
had the tour from this guy, Tony Spira,
Oh, right, okay.
who is the son-in-law. I don't know. It's fascinating. We're on a journey to try and just,
Oh, yeah, that guy.
try and see what it's all about.
On the very first picture taken in 2022 is him standing next to it with the door open.
What?
Christ.
It's fallen apart.
And his hand is
Jeez.
literally 1 inch away from the sign that says warning, positively do not open. You're a brave bastard,
I don't know.
Mr. Scott. Or
Maybe
whatever your name is.
I'm struggling here. I'd love to know in the comments and stuff people's thoughts, because I get both sides. Like, because I do think that there is a paranormal world. I do believe in it now. But maybe the big shit, the big stuff is questionable. I mean, like the Dybbuk box, for example, the most haunted thing that Zach Bagans had. The guy that found it, air quotes, said, "Oh yeah, I made it up, put it in an eBay listing, I made the whole thing up." So it's like, you know, it's tricky. I don't know. What do you got? Do you believe in it? Let us know down below.
I think the thing is you have to find a balance between being open-minded and being like questioning things.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, that isn't real, because it's frustrating, like when we're the ones that are making it and proving it, and then you've got people in the comments that do that kind of thing, because it's like, well, I did it, this is actually real, I actually experienced it and no one believes me, and it's really upsetting. So I get that side of things, but then at the same time, because I haven't personally experienced it, I find it so hard to believe these things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we can go and experience it if you want. You can throw it on the floor and then take a little drive if you want to.
On a motorbike towards a tree.
That's it. On a motorbike towards Rendlesham when it all kicks off.
That's it.
I'm trying to think of something that I'm like, I have no doubt believing. Have you guys got anything like the Annabelle doll that you just have no question? Like stories.
I don't think there's anything in the paranormal world that I have no question believing, other than, and I refuse to enter into this conversation because we've done it so many fucking times, but I'll just say the title, apart from the mirror at the Ancient Ram Inn, period, end of conversation, because fucking hell, we've tread over that about 50,000 times in the last year. But, so that's the only thing, but there are a lot of things, like what we've mentioned earlier, like that statue from the Haprica Museum.
Yeah.
You know, do I believe in it? Don't think so. Would I risk it?
Did we get a time scale for that? Like
from
when he touched it and then to when he died.
Isn't it? I don't know.
15 years later.
15 years later.
He mysteriously died.
He mysteriously died at a ripe age of 96.
Yeah. It's a bit of a... Oh, no, I'm not even going to say that. But, yeah, it's... I don't know.
Yeah, but it's one of them things, though, isn't it? Like, it's only as real as it is if you experience it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's a massive part of it when it comes to this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'd be interested to know what Scott thinks.
Yeah. Our resident demonologist. And we've left him out of the episode about a demonic doll.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah. We shall have to... We'll ask him next time he's on. But yeah, I'll wrap it up here. I feel like this is a good place to wrap it up. Haven't got any questions this week because I forgot to look. So if you comment down below. The other thing is in my defense, and this is going to again reveal the dates. Episode 2 hasn't come out yet, so I'm sure there'll be lots of questions. So going forward from now, we will have questions in comment sections and stuff. So yeah, but we're everywhere. We're on Spotify. We're everywhere, apart from Apple Pods at the minute, because we're still waiting to be accepted, but I have no doubt we will. But yeah, YouTube, Facebook, and all of the audio platforms comes out every Wednesday at 5 a.m. Why 5 a.m? Because you probably want to listen on your way to work or at work, so that's why. But yeah, thank you so much. Support the podcast. Get yourself some Wraith. That's drinkwraith.com. Code Duty, 20% off. I've had one. It's kept me going throughout this pod. I feel very energized. I feel good. I love it. Genuinely do. So thank you to Wraith. You guys are awesome. But I think down the line, and they don't know this, but I would love one day to have a Duty Rhino inspired flavour. I don't know what that would be. Maybe it's just drip flavour. It's like rainwater drip flavour. I don't know. Let's know down in the comments. What would the flavour be? What would the Drip Paranormal podcast flavour be? Let us know in the comments. That would be awesome. But yeah, go and support Rave, drinkrave.com. Use code DUTY for 20% off. And I think we might have a giveaway or two in the future, which is going to be really cool. So yeah. But anyway, we're off. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. Please share the podcast. Let your friends know about it. Let your family know about it. If you know anyone that's into the paranormal, or even people that aren't, and they're skeptical, like Loz and the rest of the team, seemingly. Fucking hell. Apart from me. I'm on Team Paranormal. I'll fly the flag from my seat here on the Drip Podcast. But yeah, thank you, Maya. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, Lozzie, for joining me this week. And
you're welcome.
A couple of guests coming up in the future, which is going to be really fun. So yeah, we'll see you very soon. I haven't really thought of an outro yet.
Bye.
Should we pretend to be...
Yeah, I like that. Ooh.